Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapandMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. I just finished a Facebook/YouTube live, and while I'm all set up, I thought I'm going to record a video so that I can have it in the bank to upload to YouTube. So I'm going to share with you today a sympathy card. I'm doing a private event coming up, and they've asked specifically for sympathy and thinking of you cards. So I'm going to share the sympathy card with you now. I have Linda's Stampin' Escape to thank for this project. I saw the card and I actually really liked it, and sympathy cards are really hard to make. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you the cardstock, the stamp sets we're going to be using, and I hope to inspire you. It's late at night, and while I had everything set up, I thought, oh, I'm going to take advantage of the setup and do another video. So that's what I'm doing here now. So we're going to be using Painted Poppies. These are all current product in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, and this is being filmed in January 2023. So this is Painted Poppies. We're going to be using this poppy, and we're going to be using this splatter and this splatter. I believe on the original card they also used this design. We're not going to be using that. And from the Peaceful Moments, we're going to be using With Deepest Sympathy and Thinking of You with All My Heart. So those are the stamps that we're going to be using. I have them all mounted already. The colors that we're going to be using are Crushed Curry, Calypso Coral, Basic Gray, and Black Memento. And we're only going to be using this die from the Painted Labels bundle. So it's this banner die right here, the middle one. And I've already die cut them out, so so that's already done. And it's a really simple card. I love the technique. We're going to be using Smoky Slate. This is going to be tent fold, and it is 4 1/4 by excuse me, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Oh, looky. I've got ink on here already. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mount it this way, and I'm going to put my piece of paper cards on the inside. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to clean off my fingers while I'm at it. This is my sample card. All righty. We need a piece of basic black that is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. We need a piece of basic white that is 2 by 4 1/4. So it is going to be flush east and west, but there's going to be a little border north and south. I've already die cut out that banner piece. And we need the basic white, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be for the inside of the card. And let's check out the card. It's very simple, folks, really, really simple, but I love it. And then we're going to use some pearls on it as well. So With Deepest Sympathy, and then on the inside, Thinking of You with All My Heart. All right, so that's the card we're going to be making. I'm going to take the piece of a basic white that is 2 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to have a sip of my tea because I feel a cough coming. The never-ending cough. All right, and I'm going to take my Black Memento, and I just inked up my Black Memento, so that's why I've got ink on my hands. And I'm going to take the poppy stamp, and I really do need to clean these blocks. I'm going to do that before the class so that the blocks are nice and clean. And I'm going to stamp this towards the left, and then I'm going to re-ink it and stamp it towards the right. I'm going to stamp so the stems are just off the page like that. All right, and now I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to stamp like this. When you see how easy this card comes together, you're going to be, this is how simple stamping can be. So I'm going to take the Crushed Curry, because it's a lighter color than the Calypso Coral, and the large splatter. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to lightly stamp on the 3 sets of flowers. All right. I'm going to take the Calypso Coral and the smaller splatter. And I'm going to stamp sort of over that, as like that, over the 3 groups of flowers. This is how simple a card can be, folks. So you can see there is the stamping. I'm going to mount that onto the basic black. Like I said before, it is flush east and west, and there's a little border north and south. And I'm going to use my grid paper to try and get it even, like that. I did cut it a little short on one end, and it's not supposed to be, you're not supposed to see the black on the one side, so I am just going to gently take a little snip of the paper off, like that. So now you don't see any of the black underneath. I'm going to mount this flush on top like this. How easily a card comes together. I used to work at a big box crafting store, part-time, and people would come in all the time and ask me, how do you make a card? And I said, you know what? It can be as easy or as complicated as you want it to be. So here we're not using any dies. Oh, sorry, we are using a die. We're using this die. But if you didn't want to use this die, you could easily cut a square piece of paper and put the sentiment on there. So that would be one way of making the card a lot simpler. So that's the whole thing about, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. If you don't have, you're new at card making and you don't have a die, just cut a piece of basic white that would fit the sentiment. And if you want it to take it up even a notch even more, mat it with a piece of black and pop it up. So that's what I mean about as simple or as complicated as you want. Like all the time people used to come in and say, oh, I want to make cards. What do I need? It's what do you want to do, right? It's as simple or as complicated as you want. So here is the With Deepest Sympathy. And I also just inked up this, this is basic gray. I also just inked this up as well. So I don't know what I'm going to get. There we go. And then on the inside, we are going to stamp Thinking of You with All My Heart. Like that. And I must have a little bit of adhesive on here. Okay. I am going to pop this up. I'm going to pop this up. If you only put dimensionals in the middle, when you put it on here, it's going to rock a little bit. So make sure you get a dimensionals, you use enough dimensionals that it's not going to rock. So I'm going to put 1, 2, so it's anchored and not is not going to rock. And this is going to get popped up like that. I know you guys are thinking, wow, this is so simple. Like that. I'm going to mount this on the inside. I love this technique of coloring in the flowers without actually coloring in the flowers. Especially for new stampers that, you know, you don't want to overwhelm them, and you want them to have a pleasant experience, stamping experience. So you want to keep it simple. You know, if you follow me for any length of time, you know I'm always using my my adhesive eraser to remove spots. And then the last but not least, we're just going to take a splattering of 3 of the pearls and just put them around the card like that. That's it, folks. What do you think? I love how this card turned out, and there's the inside of the card. That's let's see, how many minutes was that? That was 11 minutes, so not bad. I know I did pre-cut everything, but it's as simple as that. And again, I have Linda from Stamp and Escape to thank for that project, and I think it's a beauty. Take care, happy stamping, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.